For first-time cruisers, the sheer volume of options can be completely bewildering. It's tough to know what size of ship would suit you, the type of cruise to choose, and of course, where in the world to cruise to and from. But fear not, because we've created a guide to some of our favourite options for new cruisers looking to find their sea legs, and we've called it our top tips on how to choose your first cruise. Whether you're after a family fly cruise around the Mediterranean, maybe a short break cruise to France, or even a bucket list transatlantic voyage, Planet Cruise have got it covered. And just to confirm, the following will simply be our suggestions. You should do your own research and of course talk to our destination experts for more advice to find your perfect cruise. For instance, and here's a spoiler, we're going to suggest Norwegian Cruise Lines for a classic Caribbean cruise. But there are other great cruise lines out there that do go to this region and do a great job with it as well. So before we start, remember to hit the subscribe button and the bell next to it. It's very, very simple. It's ding, dong, done. So many people experience their first cruise by setting sail from the UK, and if your heart is set on that, then P&O Cruises is one of your best options. It sails from British shores. In fact, it's one of the oldest and most established cruise lines in the world, with over 180 years of history. It's got a fleet of ships that sail from Southampton, including its newest one, Iona, and it holds that ship up to 5,200 passengers. It's quite incredible. Cruising the Norwegian fjords, Iona is an ideal ship. Now, in my opinion, P&O Cruises is perfect for your first cruise if you're specifically looking to leave from the UK, because they offer sailings from Southampton to pretty much anywhere around the world, meaning your options aren't limited just because you don't want to fly. As well as this, I, like many, love the British feel and culture on board these ships. It means you can be in the Caribbean or Spain or Iceland, soaking in the local culture when you're off the ship, but when it's time to get back on board and go to the next port, you'll have all the home comforts readily available. Quite a brave decision if you want to do this as your first cruise, but I would wholly point you towards this, and that is a Transatlantic Crossing. And who else to go with but Cunard, a company I've worked with for many years. They are the experts at this. They celebrated their 175th anniversary of the first Transatlantic Crossing from Liverpool to New York back in 2015. And today, Cunard runs the only purpose-built cruise liner in service and offers a 6-night crossing from Southampton on Queen Mary 2, the biggest and most amenity-laden vessel in the fleet, and one of the biggest and most amenity-laden vessels in the world. The 6-night sailings are known for their traditions, the service, the style, and the wonderful way in which it incorporates recapturing the golden era of cruising before the days of flying with modern day style, convenience and comfort. And nowadays, of course, they're known as the best ships for travelling across the big pond in luxury. Now, if you do travel from Southampton, be sure to make time to look around the city. Near to the port, you'll find some of the streets are named after the ships. There's a Queen Mary 2 road. There's even a Cunard road, actually, funnily enough. And for more ideas on Southampton, in fact, you can click on the link above and you can check out our video that we did on Southampton. Now, if you're looking to experience New York and get there in style, we have to encourage you to travel with Cunard. And of course, you can always fly to New York and go back the other way to Southampton. So for many people, a Mediterranean fly cruise is the first cruise they ever do. And with this, we often point people towards MSC, which stands for Mediterranean Shipping Company. So you can kind of see where we're going with this. Now, we all know that when you're going on a cruise, you're likely to be booking time off work to do it. So by booking a fly cruise, you have fewer days at sea getting out to the Mediterranean, and therefore more chance to make the most of your time off by spending more time in those beautiful Mediterranean ports. Now, as I mentioned before, there are lots of different cruise companies that do the Mediterranean very, very well, but MSC are specialists in this area. They've got a heavy Italian influence, year-long sailings throughout the Mediterranean. Traveling on an MSC cruise to the Mediterranean will give you the opportunity to get a closer look at the historic ports of Italy, from Bari to Venice to Genoa and of course Naples. You can see the picturesque and refined French towns of Cannes, Villafranche, and immerse yourself in the Spanish culture of Barcelona, Malaga, Valencia and Ibiza. And these are just an example, but MSC Cruises really does do the Mediterranean justice. And if you've got a week or two and want more time in ports and less time at sea, we'd certainly suggest flying out to join an MSC cruise ship. Cue the Calypso music and let's cruise to the Caribbean. Thanks guys. Apologies. My dancing is terrible. It's dad dancing at the very worst. Thanks for indulging me. Okay, so if we're talking about the Caribbean, there are many companies that go there, but we would recommend maybe looking at Norwegian Cruise Lines. Their cruises in the Caribbean are simply spectacular. There's no other word for it. You can choose from 12 different ships, including Norwegian Getaway, Norwegian Escape, Norwegian Bliss, and Norwegian Joy. And there are 7 convenient departure ports, itineraries that offer paradise-style island time in the southern, eastern, and of course the western Caribbean. So choice is one thing you have in abundance. Norwegian Cruise Lines are all about giving you choice and flexibility, and this is shown right the way through the relaxed atmosphere on board, in particular with what they call their freestyle cruising dining concept. Now, the freestyle cruising basically does away with set schedules, and it lets passengers decide when and where they want to eat for their evening meal. We'll go into more detail in our Planet Cruise Weekly, which is all based on Norwegian Cruise Lines. So if you want to watch that, all you need to do is to click there. Other great reasons to choose Norwegian Cruise Lines for the Caribbean, it is the entertainment choices. There's loads of different kind of Broadway West End style shows on many of the ships. There's great bars where you have dueling pianos playing there, an abundance of other different bars where you can just go and have your favourite tipple, and lots and lots of deck space to soak up that Caribbean sun. And again, that relaxed, informal feel, which really lends itself to cruising in that hot, sunny weather. So Norwegian Cruise Lines, winner of many, many awards, particularly for Caribbean cruising. Now, if you're watching this and thinking, I would like to go on a more of a traditional cruise, yes, we've already talked about Cunard and the Transatlantic Crossing. You can't get more traditional than that. But there's another great cruise line as well, which really harks back to that more traditional family feel, and that's Fred Olson. Another family-owned company, funnily enough, with a strong following and one of the highest repeat passenger rates in the industry. The reason for that is that people love the cosy, friendly atmosphere on board its ships and talk very highly about the high quality of food. Now, the line offers more of a taste of how cruising used to be with set meal times, very different from Norwegian Cruise Lines we were talking about before. More formal nights, a captain's cocktail party where you get a chance to really dress up and meet the captain and the officers. Onboard lectures, after dinner quizzes, lots of different things which are, I suppose, more commonly associated, maybe even a quick game of bingo. Now, just because Fred Olson ships are more traditional doesn't mean to say they don't have all those world-class amenities that people love on board cruise ships. Swimming pools, hot tubs, beauty salons, card playing room for whist and for bridge. And of course, Balmoral was refitted in 2017 at the end of there, and now features 2 pools. There's a show lounge as well. Braemar also refitted in 2017. So it's a modern fleet, but just focusing on more traditional cruising. Now, Fred Olson ships depart from a range of different UK ports on cruises to the Mediterranean, Northern Europe, the Caribbean, the Baltics, as well as sailings to the Americas, and of course round the world cruises to the South Pacific, Australia and Asia. Pretty much, you can go anywhere with them. Royal Caribbean International. This is one of the cruise lines that most people will have heard of because they've got a big following. They're one of the largest US cruise lines with a very family-friendly, multi-generational focus, with 2 ships that sail from the UK seasonally. Based out of Southampton, Independence of the Seas is a member of the line's Freedom class of ships, and she had a massive refurbishment in 2018 which saw brand new features, including a virtual reality trampoline called Skypad. I know, I didn't even know they existed. An escape room, which is very popular at the moment. There's an ice skating rink and a brand new kids water park. The ship's Royal Babies and Royal Tots programs offer interactive activities for the youngest of travellers, and Adventure Ocean youth programs have educational and entertaining experiences meant to put the cool back into learning for kids aged 3 to 11. There are also Tween, which is pre-teen, 11 to 12-year-olds, teen programs, which are teens, 13 and upwards, nursery services for little ones, and sitters at sea if you've got really little ones, making Independence of the Seas a veritable family-friendly oasis. Adults and children alike can take their pick from a superb array of activities that include the Flow Rider Surf Simulator, Splashaway Bay Water Park, a rock climbing wall, the ice skating rink, the aforementioned Skypad, and of course the laser tag arena where you'll find me every day. I love a bit of laser tag. There are also 25, yes, 25 restaurants, bars and lounges from which to choose, somewhere different every night. Independence of the Seas offers sailings that range from 4-night mini cruises to 14-night voyages to the Mediterranean and the Canary Islands. The ship leaves the UK during the winter to sail to the Caribbean, but it does come back in the spring. Now, the reason we picked Royal for our list is because of the sheer amount of things you can do on the ships. They're truly multi-generational, and the majority of them are included in the price. There are a lot of memories you can make with a family by going on a cruise, and in this case, before you even get off the ship. Six stars and above. And again, this is simply a suggestion, but at Planet Cruise, we all sell the best luxury 6-star cruise lines, and the one we would probably suggest looking at here is Seabourn. They pride themselves on being at the very top of the luxury cruise business with impeccable service, desirable destinations, inclusive extras like coffee and cocktails, and the highest ratio of space per guest in the industry, and all in an intimate and unpretentious setting with like-minded passengers. So as it stands at the time of filming this, there are 5 ships in the fleet: Seabourn Ovation, Seabourn Encore, Seabourn Quest, Seabourn Sojourn, and Seabourn Odyssey. Now, Quest explores the world from the Arctic to the Antarctic, visiting places like the Amazon and Canada. Sojourn summers in Alaska, following a round-the-world cruise. Seabourn Encore and Ovation venture to Australia, Asia, India, the South Pacific and the Middle East. And multiple ships cruise Europe and the Caribbean. Cruises are often very port intensive, which is great news if you love getting off ship to explore. Now, the reason we suggest Seabourn for a first luxury cruise is because they really will wait on you hand and foot if you want them to. If you don't count the luxury yachts, they're the smallest luxury ships at sea, and this means that there are fewer, if any, queues and a lot more space at the pool and at the theatre. And also, it's a lot easier to see the same people, leading to those wonderful impromptu conversations and new friendships. On Seabourn, no one hesitates to order a second cocktail or dine at a specialty restaurant because you don't have to pay any extra for it. It's all included. All the drinks, except for the most premium liquors and wines, all of them are included. Gratuities and dining are included in your cruise fare. And Seabourn also doesn't charge for the little things like general fitness classes, such as Pilates, abs workouts and yoga, things that other lines would definitely charge for. Do-it-yourself laundry or in-suite movies, also not charged for, all included. And let's not forget the wonderful caviar that you can order anytime off the room service menu. Going more off the beaten path, then we would recommend having a look at a company called Voyages to Antiquity. They combine meticulously planned itineraries, unique destinations, expert speakers, with a luxury boutique style cruising. It's cultural travel at its very best, from explorations of Western civilization to excursions through the Orient. Now, Voyages to Antiquity's superb features include guided sightseeing at each port of call and flights with British Airways to and from your embarkation and disembarkation ports. Now, there's just one ship in the fleet. That's all there needs to be, and it's a mid-sized ship called the Aegean Odyssey, and it's ideal for Mediterranean island and coastal cruising, visiting smaller, less crowded ports which are inaccessible to those big cruise ships which struggle to get in. She's suited even to navigating the rivers of Southeast Asia, which again opens up a whole new list of possible destinations. In addition to the included excursion programs and a knowledgeable onboard staff, guest speakers accompany each cruise and they give talks relevant to each itinerary. So Aegean Odyssey sails the Mediterranean, the Aegean, the Adriatic, and the Red Sea pretty much from spring through to the autumn. Now, if you want your first cruise to be one surrounded by people more your own age, and you're looking in the over 50s category, then we're going to recommend Sagar Cruises. British-based cruise line, exclusive to passengers 50 age and older. I'm sure you've heard of the name. Great high quality, big fan base, big return passenger rates. The ships and cruises are designed specifically with the needs and wants of that demographic in mind, placing an emphasis on comfort, on service, and of course on ease of travel. Saga prides itself on attentive service, from the door-to-door chauffeur service, yes, you heard me right, porters carrying your bags on arrival, to tuxedo-clad waiter service in the dining room and pampering experts in the spa. Additional amenities include a welcome cocktail party, there's a great theatre with some wonderful shows, traditional library, and some bars and lounges for you to relax and enjoy and make new friends in. Saga cruise fares also include all the tips, and that really does make a big difference. Their ships go all over the world, offering a variety of cruises to the Caribbean, to the Mediterranean, to the Far East, and to Europe, and even mainly from Dover or from Southampton. So super easy and no flying involved. So hopefully that has cleared up your decision-making process when it comes to choosing your first cruise. We really hope that our suggestions and recommendations there have helped. If they have, get in touch and comment below and let us know. And if you think we've missed something or you disagree with anything, again, get in touch and let us know. We love to hear from you. So head over to our website if you'd like to see all the deals we have on these ships, and you can click the link in the right-hand corner now. Just to make that a little bit easier, we'll show you how easy it is to search for a cruise. Here's an example. Now, if you like what we said about Norwegian Cruise Lines in the Caribbean, click here to put Norwegian Cruise Lines as a preference. Then click here to put the Caribbean as a destination preference. Then click on search and you'll soon see a list of all the deals on our site. You can order the deals in price order, sale date, best value, or most popular, depending on what you're looking for. If you want to see how we do this, just rewind and watch the tip again. So I hope you've enjoyed this list of personal tips. This is Planet Cruise Weekly. I'm Keith Maynard. Remember, you dream it, we plan it. Thanks very much for watching.
Hiya, thanks for watching the video. Now don't forget to like, comment and subscribe below. Remember to click that bell to get all notifications, and if you're looking for more fantastic travel video content, like this click on the videos to the right hand side. It'll be really informative. Or click on the Planet logo to the left to go to our website for some fantastic deals. Keep cruising.